Why black swans do not date men who believe that you are out of his league. Hello and welcome to the Black Swan Relationship Academy. I am Chengi, your dating and relationship expert here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. If that sounds like you, which I know it is, you are on the right channel here, where we talk about the masculine man. So let's explore this together, ladies. What is wrong with a guy saying, oh my god, she's out of my league? I've heard it said so many times in Hollywood movies. My daddy said, when you meet a woman that's out of your league, marry her. And those things sound so romantic. You know, I used to have a bit of an ego stroke whenever a man was like, oh, but you're so out of my league, or I just can't afford you. I'd be like, thank you very much. I used to actually think that was a compliment. And of course, I would go into this rescue mode of, oh my goodness, I am not out of your league. I am a down to earth girl. I know how to keep it real, you know, and I would go through this performance of really trying to let him feel comfortable around me. This is a little bit of a trap, ladies, because it really is exactly like I said. It's an ego stroke. Yes, women have egos too. Sometimes our egos need to feel like we're all that, but in truth, it is not a healthy place to be. We don't want, as black swans, we don't want men who do not believe they're worthy of us. This is a massive, massive trap and a sign of incompatibility. You don't want a man who does not believe he is worthy of you. A man who, the moment he's around you, begins to experience inferiority, is going to at some point abandon that feeling. And when he abandons that feeling, you are attached to that feeling. There isn't a man in the world who doesn't want to feel like there isn't a masculine man, because there are men in the world who are quite happy with that, but there isn't a masculine man who doesn't want to feel like the hero, the leader, the one, the champion that his woman looks up to. And so if he's a masculine man and is in a relationship with you and he perpetually feels like he's letting the side down, he's letting the team down, he's not up to par, he's gonna eventually, his nervous system and his sense of self-worth and his sense of self-esteem is going to perpetually suffer indirectly by you. And one of the things that I really want to impart to you, my black swans, is as we evolve into this black swan journey, we really are not for everyone. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand that you begin to be a class act. You begin to be levels above most men who just are not able, have not met a woman who is so effervescent, so attractive internally, externally, so comfortable in her womanhood and her femininity, a woman who conducts herself like a royal queen. You know, we are not rare. We're not the average woman. That is why we're black swans. We are this rare experience that is not anticipated or expected. And so it's really important that we understand that many of the men that we're going to meet are going to feel like they're not quite up to par, and the temptation is going to be to try and be more normal and try to be more, you know, I am down to earth, you know, and not really expect and require him to come up to your level. A black swan doesn't lower her head, you know, she raises her beautiful neck and she swims along, and she requires that the black swan king come alongside her with his head and his neck raised, and both of them are majestic in nature. We are not attracted to men who do not have a high self-esteem. We're not attracted to men who do not have high self-worth. We're not attracted to men who don't believe they deserve to be in the room. The guys you want don't want you. And the ones you don't want simply won't leave you alone. They say you are picky and have impossible standards. Your partner has lost attraction for you and you have no idea if he will stay or progress the relationship. The harder you try, the further he pulls away. You are starting to think you are cursed, that there's something fundamentally wrong with you. The truth is, you are not uniquely broken. You are simply ill-informed, uneducated, and ill-equipped. All the things that can be fixed. I am offering you an all-access pass into the Black Swan Nation, where you will receive access to all of the courses, mentoring and coaching calls. We are also offering a 100% no quibble money back guarantee if the academy isn't a fit for you. What are you waiting for? Get smart, be educated, and level up. Do it absolutely right now by clicking the link below. Now, before we just snap our heels and keep on moving, I would want to invite him into a conversation about it. You want to be clear about what it is about you that makes him feel that he is punching above his weight. You know, is it just because he heard it said, or his daddy told him to say it, or he heard it from some dating coach somewhere in the manosphere? You know, I don't know. Maybe he thinks it's being charming, in which case we can explain that, well, you know, I really love to be with a man who really believes that, you know, he is on my level, that we're on the same level and that we can build from the same place, and nobody here is like, you know, the God who is to be worshipped, but, you know, a man who is confident and comfortable in his own skin. That's what I find attractive. And I know that, you know, some of us have been told, be with a man who, you know, who thinks you're a goddess, you know, of course. But, you know, there has to be that resonance. There has to be that sense of, he adores me, he thinks I'm fantastic, and I think that of him too. And it's not about one person looking up to the other, because that imbalance always ends up bringing hurt and disappointment. Abandonment will always happen in those scenarios, always happen. If not now, that will happen later. A man is going to get tired of feeling inferior, and you will get tired of trying to prove that you're like every other woman, because you cannot prove that, because you're not like any other woman. I know that this channel does not attract a lot of women. I know that there are millions of views on this channel, but we have a few subscribers, because this message is not for every woman. Not every woman is a black swan. Not every woman can tolerate this sort of understanding and this sort of way of being. And so you are rare. You are part of a very rare community of women. And if you are going to invest this time and attention into building yourself and developing yourself and joining the academy and just leveling up like levels, okay, you are not going to be able to prove you're like every other woman. You won't even know how to be like every other woman. And trying to be like every other woman often means that we sell ourselves for a loaf of bread. We sell ourselves up the river. We have to compromise too much of what is sacred, too much of the growth and the development. And so we need to be careful that we don't fall into this system. You know, again, this applies to being successful. You know, if you are more successful than him, and that makes him feel like, gosh, he's out of my league, then he is right. He is right. You are out of his league when he feels that way, when he thinks that way. Not because you are, in truth, it just means that he thinks it. And the moment he thinks it and articulates it to himself and verbalizes that, you are going to have a hard time, because every single time you try to maintain or go to the next level, he's going to feel left behind. He's going to feel less successful. And we cannot call and resonate at the frequency that we need to be to call energetically the man that is supposed to come to us, the man that is supposed to be in our lives. If we're so busy doubling down and trying to make a man who doesn't feel like he deserves to be with you feel better and think better, it is exhausting, and it is not the Black Swan way. So I want you to be on the lookout for anyone or any man that has an inferiority complex when it comes to dating you. These are not the men that we want. We want men that are confident. We want men that feel like, yes, I have found my equal. You want that energy from a man that he feels like, ah, finally, my equal, my resonance, the version of me that I am as a man. This is precisely the kind of woman that I deserve. But these are the kind of men that we want. Their energy is right, and they're going to stick around for that party. They're going to be by your side. They're going to build with you. You're going to build with them. And you're going to create a beautiful romance that has longevity, kindness in it. And so I hope that this video was helpful. I look forward to seeing you in my next one. In the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots. Bye.